All these layouts were decided with the VLS 2.0. So our first test is going to be Mr. Steve Klimpkin. He is a part of the USBC Hall of Fame and also the Northern Utah Hall of Fame as well. And this guy can flat out play. The pattern we're using for Steve's testing is going to be the boardwalk pattern. 35 feet, 23 mils of oil, and that ratio is going to be 2.1 to 1. So because of that distance being 35 feet, the ratio is 2 to 1. He'll have no problem throwing a ball like the fast pitch. This is going to be the two layouts that Steve used. This is going to be his pin-up, more of his benchmark stronger layout. We got 4 1/4 by 5 by 1 1/8. And as you can see, 4 1/4 by 1 1/8 are going to be some pretty strong numbers there. And then for our weaker layout, we went with 5 by 3 by 4. These are going to be much weaker numbers, much more of a weaker distance. So for the first test we did, we're going to find an optimal line for his stronger, his pin-up fast pitch. And again, that tweener player has no problem getting that ball through the pins. And as you can see here, went roughly somewhere 8 to around 4 to 5. That break point is going to be 37 feet. 15.8 was the entry position, and the entry angle was 3.73. So again, ball had no problem getting through the pins. For the second part of this test, we're going to do the same shot down the same line, but with the weaker layout ball. What we're going to see here, crosses the same boards. Now this ball is going to 2-pin. So again, what that tells me is the biggest factor there is going to be those weaker numbers in that 5-inch pin and that 4-inch pin buffer. It allows that ball to be a much slower response to friction compared to the pin-up one that we had before. And those numbers are going to be 38 feet. So again, that ball broke a foot later and less entering into the pocket overall because we saw it 2-pin. So again, that's due to that weaker pin and that weaker pin buffer distance as well. So for the second part of this test, we're going to do the opposite. We're going to flip it. So now we're going to do the optimal line with the weaker layout and then move on to the stronger one. As you can see, a little bit more further to the right, close to the friction, and that ball just rails over the 8-pin. Extremely impressive. So as you can see, because the ball is now close to that friction line, that 34 feet, that brings that break point a little bit closer because we're close to the friction. But now because of that as well, we're further to the right, we create more entry angle. We got 4.24 compared to the last ball that was right around that 3.7 number. So again, being close to the friction, he crossed 8 the first test. Now he's crossing right around 5 to 6. So we're getting close to the right, when that ball is going to respond to friction and give him a little more shape down lane overall. Feet still to the right, across the same part of the lane, and now this ball 3/6 So again, the question is what are we seeing here? This is just truly due to the stronger pin distance and also the stronger pin buffer distance in comparison to the weak layout. So you can see how much faster this ball is going to read the lane because we are close to that friction line. So now we have 33 feet, but now look at that entry angle. We're looking at 5.02. So that ball just hooked much more into the pocket and finished higher on the head pin.